1-year anniversary, I decided to do something like real big for me and my wife, and I made spaghetti, meatballs, garlic bread, and a salad. Unfortunately, it was a total disaster. I burned the spaghetti, the meatballs were not meatballs, and it was just very soggy, to say the least. So after that disaster, I decided to, you know what, I need to learn ingredients to where I don't have to use the stove and cook. So today, I'm going to show you one of the recipes that has become my wife's and my favorite, which is called shrimp ceviche, where it requires no cooking whatsoever. So I'll be talking about the ingredients needed. I'll also be discussing the steps on putting it together. And last but not least, we'll be going over the different ways of eating it or the serving options. Let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about the ingredients. This is just a sample of what we already have here. So this is what you need is a pound of shrimp, pre-cooked shrimp, 4 tomatoes, 2 jalapenos, and either 3 to 4 limes, an onion, and sea salt. Now that we have the necessary ingredients, we'll be discussing how we put it all together. So we rinse and slice our shrimp. Make sure you rinse it real good, even though it's store-bought and it's pre-cooked. You just want to make sure it's thawed out good and you clean it very well. After you've diced it, as you can see, I also diced it, made it half, that way you can get a little bit more of the shrimp itself. You want to chop your tomatoes, you want to chop your onions and your jalapenos, and then you can slice your limes ready for when you're going to add them. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and mix them in together. So whatever order you want, everybody likes to make it look pretty with the colors. So you make sure that put your tomatoes, your onions, your jalapenos. Just mix it very well. Should make it like a very colorful dish. Sure you mix it well because you don't want to have too much onion in one part or too much jalapeno in the other. Once you feel like you've got a good mix, this is where you add your lemon, or your lime, I'm sorry, and then your salt to your liking. And if you're like me, you add a lot of salt. And again, this is all to your liking. You don't like too much lime or too much salt, and to your taste. Alright, I'm going to go with 3 for right now. Add a little bit of sea salt. Make sure you shake that well again. Make sure you get all the lime and all the salt mixed in well. So now the hardest part is done. We mix it all together. This is where the true fun begins. There's different options and how to the serving options. I'm sorry. You can either have them in tostadas, tortilla chips, or you can break them up and make them like actual tortilla chips. That way, if you want to just have something to dip in, like at your local restaurant, they just something to dip it in. It's totally up to you. Have additional toppings that you can actually add to it on top of the ones that we already have. You can either add a little bit of cilantro, salsa, any salsa valentina. We have avocados, you can to your liking. And after that, we just make one just for how we can just put one together for our tostada. It's one of the serving options that you can do. Again, you can load them up. You can make it. You can go light on it. It's up to you, to your liking as well. And if you're like me, you can add some more salt. Alright, enjoy. So now, I'm gonna, as we spoke to today, we talked about the process of how to make shrimp ceviche. We talked about the ingredients needed to make it. I've discussed with you how to put it all together. And I've also discussed on the several different options of serving it as well. Remember, if you ever burn a meal, whether it's in an anniversary or just everyday cooking, remember, ceviche can be a quick fix to that. Thank you.
All right.
Let's taste it. Let's taste it.
Can we begin?